Everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today, no matter where you are or how warm or how cold it is. And hopefully you didn't get too much adverse weather recently. So let me share my screen. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. So today, what we're going to cover is what we call the NMUG Holiday Gift Guide. And this year, we are going to give you ideas for your gift giving experience. And in some cases, like last year, we hope to give you gifts that gift ideas that allow you to think outside the box. Jim Corsica did a very interesting presentation last year on the Notes app, which just was completely out of the box. So hopefully we can do something like that for you today. And with that, I would like to let you know that your presenters today are myself, Mike Kowalczyk, Dave McGuire, and Mitch Bryers. And let's move on. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so okay. The first idea that I would like to present is called the Glorious Stitch Cloth Mousepad. And I can hear you now. Mousepad? Why a mousepad? Okay, seriously, listen to this. So if you've ever owned a mousepad, you owned a mouse and you've had to pick your mouse up sometimes because if it got to the edge of your mouse pad, you couldn't go on. You had to pick it up and move it around. So anybody with me on that? Yay?
Yay.
Thank you. Interaction. We love interaction here.
Sheeta, if I may just interrupt briefly, we are all muted. So that's why we cannot respond as quickly as you would like us to. Thank you.
Oh, I know. Thank you. Some will raise their hand and some will unmute, but thank you. I appreciate that, Eckert. All right, so this particular mouse pad that I want to spotlight today is a very interesting mouse pad. First of all, it's made for gaming. And one of the things that I've found out is that gamers, the equipment that's being made for gamers recently is really high quality equipment. I have lights and I have a set of headsets that I use for recording tutorials, but the headset and the lights were designed for gamers and they far surpassed what I would normally pick for my use. So that's hopefully the first thing that makes you think outside of the box. If you want high quality equipment, you might want to look at the gaming equipment. So with that, this mouse was made for gamers. I'm sorry, this mouse pad was made for gamers. And it has a very smooth finish and it's designed for speed and control. Now, you may not need speed and control, but you need accuracy. And this mouse pad will do that. It's very, very smooth. And the edges have stitching around them. So it's a very, very great, well-constructed mouse pad. It has an anti-slip rubber base, and you can see it all twirled up now. So you can see the rubber base, you can see the stitching, and this particular mouse pad is 3 millimeters thick. So it's almost 1/8 of an inch thick. It has a lot of very good cushioning. So it's optimized for various mouse sensors and sensitivity. It has high quality foam. It's even machine washable. Now, I haven't tested that part out. I've actually owned this mouse pad for, I believe, the last 9 months. I haven't had to wash it. Hopefully, I won't spill my coffee on it or my snack or whatever I'm eating in front of my computer. And from the time you purchase, it has a 1-year warranty. And one of the things that I was concerned about is that sometimes you'll see mouse pads and they'll start to fray along the bottom. So I've had this for 9 months and it hasn't frayed along the bottom. So with this next slide, I actually want to show you their website. And this is the Glorious Stitch Cloth Mouse Pad site. And you can see up here, it's made for PC, it's PC gaming race. Now I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to show you why I fell in love with this particular mouse pad. These are the different sizes this mouse pad comes in. This is large. And if I click here, you can see the extra slim large, and the yellow outline is giving you the indication of the particular size mouse pad that you're looking at. The next is a little larger, taller. You have XL extended, which is wider, but still tall. You have the extended, which is about 11 inches tall, but 36 inches wide. Then you have the extra large, which is 18 inches by 36 inches. And then you have the 3XL, which is 24 inches by 48 inches. So this is a sort of a new idea in mouse pads. It basically can cover the entire desk. So with that, this is the mouse pad. It covers almost my entire desk. And in addition to using it as a mouse pad, I use it as a desk pad because desks can be hard, they can be cold, they can, start to hurt your hand if you spend a lot of time at your computer. So this really softens that impact of working on your desk. And basically that whole 4-foot by 2-foot area becomes my mouse pad. So you can see my little Logitech Pebble on the lower right-hand corner. I use it to control my iPad, which is in the upper right-hand corner. So anywhere on my desk, I'm using this mouse pad, right? So with that, do you have any questions about this mouse pad? Any thoughts about this mouse pad?
Yeah, Sheeta,
Yes.
it's Mitch. I noticed it came in black and white. Is there a reason why? I would think you'd get the black because it just would not show any dirt at all.
Well, that's not really a truism. Yeah, the darker something is, the more it will show dirt, lint, hair, and everything else. So it's actually the opposite.
And what about the comfort? I have one of these. I'll hold it up. One of these funky things like this. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't see your screen.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyhow, I have one that has a soft rubber thing that the palm of my hand is on, and then I've used that for years just because using a flat surface with the mouse, I'd find that my hand would get, I don't know, sore or whatever.
Right.
You notice that at all?
Well, if you look and you see on the screen, I use a trackball for my most of my work, my computer work, and that trackball has that pad that my palm of my hand sits on. So in addition to that, this particular mouse pad, like I said, is at least 1/8 of an inch thick. So it really has cushion, and it's much softer on the hand than you would consider your regular mouse pad. So that's one of the reasons, because I spend so much time on my computer. I totally understand what you're saying. Your hand gets sore and it starts to hurt. So most of the time, my right hand is on that mouse pad, but my left hand needs somewhere to sit as well. So it's on that large mouse pad. And that
how much was that?
Of it, this particular mouse pad, the size of 48 inches by 24 inches was $51.99, which is, to me, really reasonable. No. Any other questions? Okay, so this is the mouse pad that I use. It's not like any other mouse pad I've ever had before. I really love it, and I would buy another one in a second without hesitation. So,
How is it for washing out coffee stains?
I've been lucky enough where I have not been clumsy enough to drop coffee on it. I have a coaster and it's actually on the side of my desk. My coffee is where you don't see the mouse pad. So I try to be very careful with that. It does say it's machine washable. I haven't tested that yet. I hope I don't have to, but anything can happen. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. But it's been a very good mouse pad. And desk pad. I call it a desk pad. All right. Any other questions regarding this? Okay, I don't use a mouse pad at all. Jill, you're saying I don't use a mouse pad at all. Should I? If you have a mouse, you should use a mouse pad because it's going to wear the bottom of that mouse down, unless you have like one of those Apple Magic Magic Mouse things. The cost again is $51.99 for this one, which is 48 by 28. But if you go to the site, and I'll put the link for the site in the chat, you can see the different sizes. So this being the largest size is $51. So I believe the cost may go down to anywhere from 12 up to the 51 that I paid for this one. Okay. Yes, the 52 is for the largest one. I would not trim it. It has a stitched edge, and I'm sure there's a reason it has a stitched edge. So to keep it either from fraying, so I would not trim it. It's a thick mouse pad. It's 1/8 of an inch thick, so I would not trim it. I would just get a smaller size. Can it be trimmed if too wide to fit a keyboard tray? Take a look at the different sizes that they have on the site. And let me go back there. You see you have different sizes. So the large size, this one, is 11 by 13. So I don't know how large your mouse tray is, but if you do decide to get it and trim it, you trim it at your own risk. What's the price for the price for the smallest one? Let's see, $13, $13.99. So 14 plus tax. Okay. All right. Yes, you do have a magic mouse. Start that dimension. Okay. Okay. Okay, yes, the thickness does vary with the size, but check it out. Again, I consider it a worthwhile product. I've had it for 9 months, and I really wouldn't use anything else at this point. All right. My pad is a hand rest, not a mouse pad. I use it as a mouse pad as well because you can see my mouse on the right hand side. I have a Logitech mouse for my iPad, and I use it for that. And for the rest, depending on where I am and where my iPads are, I've used this entire surface for as a mouse pad. Okay. All right, let's move on to my next. All right. My next gift idea is a phone and tablet desk mount stand. And the reason being, as you saw with my mouse pad, my desk is not as cluttered as it used to be. And there are times when you need desk space for different things. There are times when I have notepads, I'm taking notes, or I'm writing and I need a clear space. If you have your iPad or your phone or your other devices on your desk, you can run out of room to use your Surface. So I purchased 2 of these. They are aluminum frame. They're very sturdy. They free up your desk from the iPad or the iPhone or actually any device lying down on the desk. This particular clip on this device allows you to have an iPhone, not just an iPhone, but a phone 4.7 inches to 11 inches in height. And you can attach it, just position it in the clip. What I liked about this particular item is its flexibility. It rotates and that clip expands and let me show if I can point out these areas right here. This here and this here, these particular joints are tension joints. So you can actually really stabilize this so it's just in one position. And let me show you another slide. The clip can rotate 360 degrees. The clip actually has a ball joint on the back. And you can take the clip off and put a tripod mount on that where the clip is as well. So it attaches to your desk. All of this is very sturdy metal. The clip is very sturdy as well. And you have to have a desk that has a considerable or sizable lip on it. It has to be definitely larger than, I would say 1/2 inch. You probably want it 1 inch or more so that the clip can be positioned and secured perfectly. All right, so this is showing you the width of that clip. And I wanted to show you this because it shows you the different items that this clip will hold. Your phone. Now, I don't know what this round thing is here. So if you can figure it out, please tell me. It shows a DSLR camera. Now, I would like to put up a warning with that because this particular stand, I purchased it for the iPhone and the iPad. It only supports 2.2 pounds of weight. So I don't know what tiny itty bitty little DSLR that they're showing here, but guaranteed, if it's more than 2.2 pounds, the stand will not support it and the stand will start to collapse at its joints. It won't slam it down, but it will slowly lower whatever item it's trying to support. So, scroll. Okay. All right. So now let me also show you this. I wanted to show you this clip because this clip I think is really cool in the back of it, how that ball joint is. And this is the only image I could get, and it's really fuzzy. So at this point, I'm going to take you to the website. And I bought this from Amazon. And I'm going to show you a quick video of this. Now, I want to pause this right here because to me, this is what makes this thing so versatile. This is a ball joint, and this large clip actually comes off. This is I want to call it a screw, and you can take the large clip off. It has a tripod mount that comes with it, but it's the ball joint, and here's the clip that tightens it, that helps make this so versatile, and that you can position it at any angle. You can rotate it 360 degrees, and it just works for my needs, and it's just very, very flexible. And finish that up. Okay, so let's get out of here. All right, let me out. Hold on. Okay, all right, so that's the stand that I purchased for my iPads and my iPhone to get them off of my desk. And I actually used the stand when I needed to take a video clip and to support my iPhone, and I could just position it up. It's sturdy enough where you can lock those tension joints and it does not move. So it's a very sturdy stand and you can use it anywhere. Have the stand flush against the wall for it. Looks like you can't have the stand flush against the wall for it to move. No, it's not made to be flush against the wall. This one makes okay. All right. Any other questions about the stand? If not, I'll move on. And okay, no more questions about the stand. And just to show you, here is how I use the stand when it's on my desk. I have two of them, one on each side of my desk for when I'm using the different iPads. When I want to use it for sidecar, so it is attached to my computer screen and it's used as a separate desktop, or even separately when I want to, say, watch tennis matches when I'm just sitting at my desk doing a lot of work. So, okay. Now they have this to mount it from an overhead hutch as. Lawrence, I would say that if that overhead hutch has a shelf, you can attach it overhead. It sort of doesn't matter. I'm sorry?
Take a look at my background picture.
I can't see your background
Okay.
picture right now.
I'm sorry, I apologize, yes.
Okay.
It would.
Okay. Okay, great. All right, then let's move on.
Sorry, I just allowed Larry to show his background there, if that helps.
Or
Yeah,
don't know if
I would
Judy
have this.
see it.
I can't see it.
Okay, I put him on spotlight, but I don't know whether you can see that.
I can't see it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, that's all right, no problem. If you could, I don't know if you could take a screenshot, put it in the chat, and then I could pull it up and see it. But right now I can't see it. So however you want me to be able to see that. All right, so let's move
Sheeta,
on.
would that work if it was upside down, connected to a shelf?
Yes,
That was, okay.
yes, absolutely. Yeah,
That's great.
the clip doesn't care what you clip it to, as long as you clip it to a surface that allows it to be stable. So, all right.
No, one quick question.
Yes.
In the first ad where they showed you all the different devices you could put it up, the clip itself, which is the C mount, the clip
Mhm.
at the bottom. But
Yes.
when it came to the heavier objects, it looks like they need to go backwards so that the back, the lens is facing the back of the thing instead of the front of the thing. For the little iPhone or the iPad, it can be, facing the front. But then in the others, it looks like for stability purposes, and that makes sense that it would be something you should turn around so that it's.
I don't understand what you mean, Frank.
The DSLR is
Right.
to the thing and is facing backwards.
That's facing the, okay.
The dark
It's sort of like
side
to
of-
it's facing the side. It's facing the side, not
Yeah.
backwards.
The side part of it. So I think that accounts for weight in some way for the heavier items. That's just my,
As far as being able to support the
Hypothesis.
heavier items?
yeah, if you do have a 2.5 pound DSLR, it might work.
I wouldn't trust it.
Okay,
Okay.
I think what
when
he's
the,
saying, it's a vertical,
I,
so all the way to straight down.
I get that, but I still would not trust it when these items are saying that they're rated for a certain amount of poundage. I would not just assume that just because it's a straight vertical weight, that because what I found, because I did put something on these that was heavier than the 2.2 pounds. And even though I had it at an angle, the joints started to collapse. At 2 pounds, 2.2 pounds or less, the joints stay stable. But if I go over what's considered their maximum load, I found that the joints collapse. So even if it's going straight up, you never know. Or if you bump your table and that gives it a little more force than that weight, if it does shift it, then it's going to start to come down.
okay.
So I would like to use the items for what they're rated for.
Mhm.
So, you know, if you want to try it, let me know
Well,
how it
that is the
goes.
definition of out of the
Yeah,
box.
absolutely, absolutely out of the box. But you know, when it comes to weight, and especially with my DSLR, which is so heavy, which is why I don't use it anymore, I definitely wouldn't try it. But try it. Let us know how that worked out for you.
Will do.
Thank you so much. Okay, if we have try, yeah, there you go, Roger. I agree. Can you charge it while it's mounted? Absolutely. There is openings in the clip where I can thread my cable through the openings and charge my iPad or my iPhone, no matter what position they're in while while they're in the stand. Okay. Okay, and Ward Clark is saying, my wife uses this iPad holder attached to the headboard of our bed to suspend the iPad over her when she's resting. Okay, Ward, thank you. They are really useful and they really work. So just make sure you get one rated for the weight that you want to use it. I am going to quickly download. And where did you go? All right, I'll have to get back to it because I don't know where it downloaded to. All right, so let me go back to my slide. And again, that's what I use it for. Now, my next, and this is not a out of the box or thinking out of the box gift idea. This is a large monitor. It's a 32-inch ultrafine UHD IPS monitor that comes with a stand. So how did I decide that I wanted this monitor and that I thought it would be a good gift? Well, if you spend a lot of time on your computer and you have a smaller screen, you are sliding things out of the way, you are scrolling, you are doing a lot of stuff that what I call stops your workflow from flowing. And when something stops my workflow from flowing, say that 5 times, it's time to do something about it. So I looked at monitors for several months and I finally settled on this one. I read a lot about it. It's a 4K monitor and it comes with what's called AMD Freestyle technology or FreeSync technology. Sorry about that. So what that is, it's technology designed to eliminate stuttering and or tearing in games and videos by locking the display's refresh rate to the frame rate of the graphics card. Okay, so what that means is you're not going to have flickering. And that just came with the monitor. That was one of the reasons I got it. Another reason is that it has a USB-C Thunderbolt cable in the back, which is very important to attach it to my computer. I do have a dock that has those Thunderbolt ports on the back, but also if that dock ever dies, I want to be able to connect it to my computer, which this has. It also has two HDMI ports. It has USB ports, and it has what's also known as IPS technology for rich colors, which means this is something that if you do design work and colors matter to you, this is a monitor that you might be interested in. So my reasons for purchasing it were it's a 4K and the color is very good. Now, I do want to say this, and I'm going to take you to the website. I read a lot about this monitor, and I looked at some reviews on Costco. I looked at some reviews on Amazon. You can buy this from both locations. I chose Costco because they have a great return policy, and if I didn't like it, I wanted to be able to take it back with no questions asked. There is a setting that automatically turns on when you hook this up to your computer. And I don't know if it's just a Macintosh setting, it could also be a Windows setting, but it turns on HDR. And some people who own Macs were complaining about how awful the color and the just the look from the monitor was. And someone suggested you need to turn HDR off. Even though it's supposed to be beneficial, turn it off. Same thing happened with me. I was looking at the monitor thinking, these colors are really awful. And then I remembered what I read. I went to systems preferences, turned HDR off. I've been just thrilled with the monitor ever since. So let me take you to the website.
What brand?
It's an LG.
Okay.
And let's show you some information about the monitor. Now, this monitor comes with a stand, which is unheard of. The stand is very sturdy, but I don't use the stand because I already had an articulating stand with my other monitor. But this is what the stand is. It's something that gets it off of your desktop, and it has a mechanism that does go up and down. And actually, let me show you. If I scroll down further, I can show you the different positions that this stand allows you to turn this monitor. So it goes up and down. It can turn almost 200. It can turn 280 degrees. You can see the height adjustment, 0 to 130 millimeters. Somebody quickly tell me what that is. I don't remember, but it extends out, back, it rotates. It will even rotate. And this monitor will allow you to rotate it 90 degrees, and it will rotate the image 90 degrees on the monitor as well. So it does tilt back and forth. So it's a great combination between the monitor and the stand. It is a fantastic combination to get in one. And I think that's all I wanted to show you there. Let me go back to my slides. And so here's the monitor. And I don't know if you noticed in one of the other images that I showed you, there was a smaller monitor here. So the monitor that I did have was a 22-inch diagonal. This one is a 32-inch diagonal. The real estate is just priceless. So I actually love it. And this is showing the monitor with other windows that I have open to just show you the breadth of what you can have open and available to you. Can you, okay, 5 inches, 130 millimeters is extension height up to 5 inches. Thank you very much, Peter. Does it have P3 color range? I believe it does. All right. So let me go to my next slide. And here I wanted to show you the ports that are in the back. You have your Thunderbolt USB-C, you have a display port, you have 2 HDMIs, 2 USB-C, headphone out, and your power. Seamlessly plug this into my computer. Once I took the old monitor off of the stand, I slid this one on. Oh, and it also comes with a Vesta mount. So if you did not want to use that stand that comes with it, and you wanted to maybe mount the monitor to a wall, they actually gave you a plate that came, that you can do that. So this monitor comes with everything, all of the cables, the stand, a mount if you don't want to use the stand. So, okay, I'm sorry, you're right. The two on the right are USB, what do you call it? USB-A. It's 0.9 amps. Okay, so with that, any other questions about the monitor?
Now, I have a question, Sheeta.
Go ahead,
Number
Edgar.
one, you're apparently using it with your laptop, right?
Yes, yes.
And the other, does it have a camera?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't have a camera. It has its own set of speakers. And if you want to change the settings, like the brightness, it has its own settings. It doesn't connect into the laptop settings. They're completely separate. So no, it doesn't have a camera. I didn't need a camera for it, so that's why I wasn't. That's one of the reasons. But I didn't choose one. All right. Any other questions? Thank you for that question, Eckert. Any other questions?
I have a question, Sheeta.
Go ahead.
Smart TVs have notoriously bad speakers in them.
Yes.
And this is like a monitor version of a smart TV. How does it sound? Have you played any challenging music in it?
I haven't played any challenging music, but I have listened to them. They don't sound bad.
Okay.
But I didn't buy it for them. I have other devices. I bought it strictly as a monitor.
Right.
That's it. Yeah, everything else was gravy. All right.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. You're
I
quite
have
welcome.
another question, Sheeta.
Yes.
What if you take the brand new laptop and this monitor as a combination? Would you still need an iMac?
This would be an extended monitor.
Yeah.
So you would have two.
Yeah, I
instead of
mean,
the one.
because I use the iMac really because
Oh.
of the large monitor, and if I would use my my newest laptop, the 16-inch or 14-inch with this added monitor, would I still need a large desktop computer? Or would that combination replace it, or are there any drawbacks you can think of?
I can't think of any drawbacks. If I had an iMac and used this in conjunction with an iMac, it would be as an extended desktop surface. With my laptop, I can actually close the cover and just have the laptop sitting on the desk or wherever and just use it as a separate monitor, but I use it as an additional monitor. So I see no drawbacks when you're asking for additional real estate for your monitor, for to do your work. I don't ever see a drawback there.
Sheeta,
Yes.
I can think of one drawback in usage. If you're using it as an adjunct monitor to your laptop, you will want to look at the big screen, but that will take your face away from the camera on the laptop. I know I run into this all the time when I'm Zooming with other people.
That's not a drawback.
You don't think that's a drawback?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Okay. All right. I got to get moving. We got other presenters here today. All right. So with that, that is my last gift idea. I hope you have. I hope it's given you some ideas. Mike Wozniak, you are next. I'm going to stop share. And did we lose Mike? Mike, are you here?
Mike, you're muted.
Yeah. Okay.
What an idiot.
I did it. I'm talking to an unmuted to a muted microphone. I'm so sorry.
All right, all yours, Mike.
So, this is a bit of a confessional, really, as well as a Christmas gift idea. This is about what a very lazy photographer with no work does in lockdown. And actually, it proves to be just about the most wonderful Christmas gift that I could imagine for anybody. And that's this. So I went shopping.
Can you pause for a second? Can you unspot me, please, and just spot Mike?
That's
Thank
better.
you.
I had
So-
spotlighted the two of you, but now I removed your spotlight sheet. I just have.
All right.
Thanks, Eckhart. So this rather strange looking device is called an Oculus Quest, and it creates virtual reality. And I'm not going to put it on because it'll ruin my hair, but it slides over your head like that. And if I could just share my screen now and show you what it does. So during lockdown, we visited some friends who a real tech head, and he built himself the fastest imaginable PC and purchased the most expensive VR headset to attach to it. And we were absolutely blown away by the quality. It cost a ridiculous amount of money for him to build. And we saw this item advertised and just thought, do you know what, for $300, it's £300 in the UK, unfortunately, but for £300, that has to be worth a punt. So we purchased one, and I think it is absolutely extraordinary. Now, I've talked, I think, with many of you before about the fact that I am completely uncoordinated. So the idea of kind of running around shooting zombies is a no, because I just can't do it. My reflexes are far too slow. However, there's so much magic to be enjoyed on this device that doesn't involve gunfire of any sort. And I have a little movie that I'll show you in just a second. So there are so many things to recommend this. First of all, it's completely wireless. So there are no cables connecting it to your Mac or to a PC. Once you slide that headset over your head, you are absolutely lost in a completely different environment. And you can touch things and hold things and pick up things, press buttons, pull levers. And I'd say it's just about as much fun as you can get. And people like National Geographic, there's a new app called Brink Traveller, which I absolutely love, which I'll show you a trailer for in a second. I absolutely love. Puts you in some of my favourite places, funnily enough, in the US, but Horseshoe Bend, for example, in Utah. Standing on the edge of that canyon and looking down towards the Colorado River fills me with exactly the same tension as doing it at the real thing. It's so real. And the joy is, of course, that if you bend down, you can look under things because the environment is completely three-dimensional. So let me just move on and just show you a little film. So this is edited highlights of 3 advertisements followed by a very short clip of a lady experiencing VR for the first time. The people who created this video at the end are called Imagine VR Studios, and I'll put their information in the chat because you have to watch the whole video because it's so very funny.
Brink Traveler is a virtual travel experience that takes you to amazing places. All locations are 3D and true to world scale to make you feel like you're really there. Use your compass to find trail markers to move between areas. And find points of interest to learn more about your surroundings. Collect information in your field notebook. And shoot photos to share with friends. Visit some of the most breathtaking places on Earth today.
That lady's reaction was just a little bit louder than mine, but we're on the same wavelength. So the way that this works, is that once you have the headset on, you can still see what's outside because it has cameras on the front of it. So you're able to instruct the app about the edges of your room, the edges of the space that you can safely move around in. And once you've done that, you can literally walk around the landscapes. It's absolutely sensational. So on screen at the moment, this shot is from Imagine VR Studios. I hugely recommend that you watch the entire, it's about 6 or 7 minutes long, but this lady is just the most phenomenally hilarious VR wearer you could possibly wish to see. We've had such fun inside this thing, and I'd hugely recommend, if you have an opportunity, to try it out, and do visit Imagine VR's YouTube channel.
You can take photographs.
Only in certain apps. Brink Traveler enables you to take pictures, and yes, so that's very dependent on the app that you're using, George.
Do you have to pay for the
Right.
separate apps?
Yes, but they're actually relatively inexpensive. Brink Traveler, for example, I think is something like $9, something like that. They don't at the moment have a huge library of locations, but I wrote to them after we bought it because we were so completely overwhelmed by how real it is. And I got a reply from one of the developers saying, that they've got so many locations queued up waiting to be recorded. So I have high hopes for that particular application. I think it's absolutely lovely. Absolutely
Mike,
lovely.
it's Mitch.
Yes, Mitch.
I have a friend that has this, and he had rave reviews of it as well. And I noticed on Amazon, it comes with a couple handheld devices, and it also comes in the 128 and 256. Do you have any
Yes.
thoughts there? And it also has other packages with a host of other accessories. Can you
Yes,
comment on
and
that?
so I don't think there's any point in going for the huge storage because games are not particularly big. Most of them seem to be about 2 or 3 gigs. And our feeling was that, you know, once you've played a game, even if you want to revisit it, you don't have to keep it stored inside the headset. Does that make sense? So, because, you know, new games are coming along all the time. So if we've dumped an old game that we've paid for, you can just download it again. It has this incredibly clever app that you run on your iPad. So you make your purchases and stuff on the iPad, and the iPad then transfers the app to the headset. It's very automated and very, very easy to use. I'm staggered at how easy the thing is to use. And as I said, I mean, it's provided so much fun in this household. And just to give you an idea of how lost in it you can be, I saw a friend playing a fun, oddly enough, a shooty game, which I have no interest in, but in a Parisian landscape, and he was standing on the balcony of a hotel in the game, and there was a handrail in front of him, and he literally went to lean on the handrail and fell to the floor. It's that real. It's just it's amazing how the brain says, okay, this is my real environment. And
Okay.
$300 well spent in my hand.
Thank you very much. That's what my friend said.
Yeah, so item number 2 is this. I bought an earlier ancestor of this machine because 18 months ago we were, by odd coincidence, we were supposed to be coming over to Florida to Walt Disney World. And I thought, I'd like to make a movie. A gimbal seemed to be a really good idea. So a gimbal is a kind of motion stabilizer. So you attach your iPhone to it. And where is it? You guys can see me at the moment, can't you?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yes. So it's contained in this little bag. Okay. And this is what it looks like. It folds very neatly, and you just unclip it like that to use it and clamp your iPhone into the grip here and switch the thing on. And it's miraculous. Once again, a bit like the Oculus, the software is absolutely incredible. So it functions as a motion stabilizer, and I'll show you some film in just a second. What it actually does. By default, it shoots at 60 frames a second. So if you're not filming humans, if you're filming landscape, which is what kind of interests me more, you can take that film which is shot at 60 frames, halve the frame rate to 30 frames. So in other words, it runs at half speed, and you get motion that is so smooth you would think it was made by a professional with a huge, heavy motion stabilizer attached to his or her chest. It has gesture control and it has motion tracking, and what that means is if, for example, you wanted to do an on-camera presentation, I think it recognizes that as start running the video. And once you've started running the video, it can identify the main subject. So as you walk around it will actually literally follow you. It's just unbelievably clever. And so once again, this isn't my footage. This footage is made by another YouTuber, and I'm so pleased to have discovered this lady, whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce, but her Christian name is Zdenka. Zdenka has a YouTube channel where she's reviewed all of these things and also does lots and lots and lots of videos about filmmaking and stuff for iPhone users. And just watch this.
I'm using a slow speed spin. I actually changed it in the settings, and I'm spinning clockwise. So you have to always remember the direction you actually selected on your gimbal. The focus is going to go from back to forward. It's got this beautiful texture. There are no transitions. This is very basic, simple timeline. Once you add the music and sounds, color grade the video, you can end up with something like this.
And this is Zdenka's YouTube channel. And again, I'll put this information in the chat just in case you fancy having a look. If you're interested in trying to make movies with your iPhone, I'd hugely recommend you visit her channel because I think it's brilliant. And that is me done. Let me stop sharing. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be pleased to try and answer them.
If you have questions, can you hold up? We need to get Mitch on. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Mitch?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All yours.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I have 4 quick products that I'm gonna go through, and they're not as inspiring as my predecessors, but they're nevertheless good gifts. And the first one that I have is Phone Soap 3. It's a UV cell phone sanitizer, and with the COVID and flu going around, it's a good thing. I use it about once a week. I'm not a fanatic that does it every day, but I throw my phone in here, close the lid. It takes about 5 minutes, and you can also, anything that'll fit in here, you can clean. So you could throw pens in here, I've thrown my keys from the car in here a couple of times. And this is on Amazon for $63.96. And I think there's a discount right now, maybe 10%. And I'm going to go on because I want to get through these and then we'll go back. Is that okay?
That's fine, Mitch. Go ahead.
Good. So the next one that I have is a StarTech, and this is a powered hub, and a powered hub with USB 3.1. They're not easy to come by. A lot of them will have UBS 3, but not 3.1, and 3.1 will transfer at 10 gigabytes per second. It has 4 ports, and the ports are 3 of them are USB, and 1 is a USB-C, and it has a power adapter. It plugs into the wall. I've had one of these, and I also have the phone sanitizer. I've had both of them for 3 or 4 months, and I highly recommend this item. It's excellent. One of the ports can be used for charging as well. Okay, next, the new iPhone or iPad 3, 3rd generation. I've linked in the links, and I've linked all these in the notes, and I linked them again recently. These have gotten rave reviews, and they're hands down way above the capability of the 1st and 2nd generation. They're the size of more like the size of the Pro iPods, but without the noise cancellation. And so there are no rubber tips that go on the end. But the sound on the reviews that I read compared, the sound quality was compared very favorably to the iPod Pros. So this, and I think they're, you can check on the price, but they're $30 or $40 cheaper than the Pros. I think all of these are going to go on sale at various sites, and they might even, I think they're already on some sites for Black Friday. So if you want one of these, stay tuned. And the last thing I want to show, and then we'll take questions. This turned out to be a controversial recommendation, and it's for the Apple MagSafe battery pack. And the reason it's controversial is because when I went through the reviews, a lot of people didn't like it. And if you Google it, I think I referenced an article that reviews several different ones. The favored alternative is Anker's magnet wire port charger, and for $54.99 on Amazon. And also they have a new model of that, which is shown below, which is their Anker 622. And it has this little, when it attaches to the back of the phone, it has this little stand that you can release and actually set it up. It's shown in the setup mode there, but that's about $5 more. And so that's the favored alternative. And the big disadvantage of all these other brands other than Apple is they do not show the battery percentage that's left on your phone. So when you go to your phone and you're looking at your phone and you're seeing that your phone has so much and your AirPods have so much, and that your battery pack has so much, that battery pack, if it's not an Apple device, will not show. So that's a disadvantage. Now, one of the advantages is that it was pointed out in one of the reviews is that these off brands, many of them, will continue to charge the phone while in use. So if you're watching a video on your phone, when you're done watching the video, it'll show that your phone's still at 100%. Whereas the Apple one, according to the reviews, does not do that. It doesn't charge it until later. So that was sort of interesting. And then, so these are really good devices if you're traveling or if you're just out and about, you know you're going to need a charge during the day and you're not in a place like your car where you can plug in and get a quick charge. So all three of these devices are good. Now, if you're traveling and you're going on backpacking or something like that, and there's not going to be any charger or way to recharge your battery pack, the one that I liked was this one in the right-hand corner, which is a non-magnetic on Amazon. Again, it's Anchor, and it will charge your phone 4 times. So that, and I would look for Black Friday discounts on all or some of these. And that's the 4 that I had, and now I'll take questions on any of them. We've got a couple minutes left.
All right, so if you have questions on Mike's ideas, or if you have questions on Mitch's ideas, please put it in the chat or raise your hand. No questions? If you don't have questions, I have time to show some of the stuff.
My hand,
Go ahead, Frank.
please. Yeah.
I can see you. Go ahead, Frank.
This is for Mike with that gimbal. That rotation, is that done by the hand, or is that something that's in the software that causes the pointing it down on like the beach and it would be slowly swiveling? Is that her slowly swiveling it, or is that something that is automatically done?
That's definitely being done by her using a rocker switch on the handle of the gimbal.
Okay, so it does have a piece that will allow it to do that.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The price of the gimbals have dramatically come down, haven't they?
Yes, they have. And there are actually 2 models of that gimbal. Mike and I actually have the same model. The image that Mike showed you was of their latest model gimbal, which has a telescoping wand at the end of it. And that just makes it easier, I guess, to take a selfie, but it's a really great, yeah, I have that one. It's a really great device. And that one actually comes with, I don't know if you got the tripod stand that comes with it.
I have.
Yeah.
There is. So this screws into the base.
Right.
So if you want to film yourself making a presentation, you can pop that down on a table.
Right. And the software that comes with that model also has templates in it that you can use. And the software also, like Mike said, it allows you to track yourself. You give a hand signal, or you actually just, it will recognize faces, and it'll also start tracking the faces.
Good.
So, all right. Any other questions?
Mike, I have a question that my wife has a big problem with getting dizzy. And I would assume that if you're on that 3D thing, that could be a problem for somebody like that.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a real problem with stepping right to the very edge of canyons. You've heard me with the group talking about Angel's Landing. I'll be talking about it again next week. Parts of Angel's Landing, which is on Zion National Park, the path is literally 1 meter wide with sheer drop-offs on either side.
Yeah, and the chains to hang on to.
Yeah, And I find it really difficult to walk up to the edge, really difficult to walk up to the very edge of that. And I find that when I'm in the headset, I have exactly the same experience. And whatever chemicals are released into your bloodstream when you're a bit tense, those same chemicals go into your bloodstream.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. I am sorry I was not able to get to the very last presentation. Dave did not make it today, but I had his presentation. But for the sake of getting through everyone, we'll just have to save that for next time. And again, I thank you for all of your questions. I hope you found something that you can use for your gift giving ideas. And with that, George, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Boy, the time flew by. Very great products, very interesting. And I can't believe the price of that last item has come down so dramatically. I think I looked at it at the Apple Store 3 or 4 years ago. It was like $500. And it looked like it could do exactly the same thing today. But thank you very much. And if everybody wants to unmute and thank the presenters, please do.